Every AI vendor in 2026 calls their product an AI operating system. Not all of them are one. The term has been completely stretched to cover single-agent tools, basic workflow automation platforms, and productivity layers that simply do not meet the architectural requirements of a genuine AIOS. And look, when buyers can't tell the difference, they buy the wrong product. You spend the money, you go through a painful implementation, and you end up with something that does maybe one thing well, rather than a system capable of actually running your business.
This explainer is an evaluation framework. If you're an IT decision maker or an operations leader evaluating AI vendors right now, I know exactly what you're hearing. You've likely been told by every single one of them that their product is agenic and an operating system. Honestly, it's a lot of marketing noise. We're going to cut straight through those claims. A genuine AI operating system has exactly 5 capabilities that distinguish it from a well-assembled tool stack. Any vendor that can't demonstrate all 5, they aren't selling an AIOS. They're selling something else under a much more appealing name.
So, what are these exact architectural capabilities? They are persistent memory, agent orchestration, platform governance, system integration, and action logs. I'll explain each one, give you the exact question to ask any vendor to verify it, and show you what the correct answer should actually sound like.
Let's start with the absolute foundation. Capability number 1, persistent memory.
Persistent memory means the system maintains context across sessions, across agents, and across time. Think about it. When a client calls your firm today, the system already knows their matter history, their last communication, and literally every AI action taken on their account to date. It does not start from zero. It doesn't require your highly paid team to spend 10 minutes endlessly copy-pasting context from an old session into a chat window just to get the AI up to speed. The memory is structured, it's retrievable, and it's updatable.
So when you're evaluating a vendor, here is the exact question you need to put to them. Does your system maintain persistent, structured memory across agents? Now, listen closely to how they reply. A weak marketing answer sounds like this. Yes, we save your prompt and chat history. Look, that is not an operating system. That's just a basic text log. A genuine AIOS vendor will give you a fundamentally different architectural reality. They'll tell you memory compounds automatically across all emails, calls, and actions. That means 6 months from now, the system knows your clients, your pricing rules, and your matter patterns, and it knows exactly what to do next without being explicitly asked.
But memory alone isn't enough without execution, right? That brings us to capability 2, agent orchestration. Agent orchestration requires a central supervisor layer. This is an environment where all your internal and external agents are visible, monitored, and controlled in one single place. Think of it like an agent control tower. Instead of letting disconnected agents run blind across your data, a real AIOS takes your firm's standard operating procedures, things like intake, conflict checks, or file reviews, and turns them into executable skills that the supervisor layer seamlessly manages.
To verify true multi-agent orchestration, arm yourself with this specific question. Does your system orchestrate multiple agents through a single supervisor layer?
A marketing answer will usually try to deflect. They'll say, we have an agent that connects to your tools. But relying on isolated agents, adopted team by team, creates massive operational fragility. It's impossible to audit and incredibly expensive to manage. After all, who wants to oversee a dozen rogue pilot programs? A genuine AIOS architecture guarantees instead that all agents run inside one visible, controllable brain. That supervisor layer is what actually creates scalable, reliable automation, not just a patchwork of isolated tools.
Moving right along, the third requirement is platform governance. And this one is absolutely critical for Australian professional services operating under strict compliance frameworks.
Platform governance means access controls and data sovereignty are enforced at the architecture level. They're not relying on individual users remembering to toggle their privacy settings. Moving from a low-stakes pilot to operational AI demands Australian-hosted infrastructure to satisfy the Privacy Act and sector-specific frameworks like APRIS CPS 234. If your staff are pasting client briefs into a public AI interface where data is routed offshore, well, that's a live compliance exposure.
To expose any compliance drift before you buy, ask them this question. Are access controls and data sovereignty enforced at the platform level?
A vendor selling unsecured AI will reply with something like, individual users can adjust their privacy settings. Passing governance responsibility down to the user is a compliance failure waiting to happen. A genuine AIOS builds governance directly into the architecture. They'll say, data never leaves Australian soil. Compliance is enforced by default. That means the system is hosted on infrastructure like AWS Sydney or Google Cloud Sydney, and data processing policies are dictated strictly from the top down.
Once your data is secure, it actually needs to be accessible. That brings us to capability 4, system integration.
Real system integration means native connections to the core systems the business actually runs on today. Right now, your team likely spends hours a week reconstructing context, chasing threads across Outlook, your CRM, SharePoint, and the phone system. And AIOS combines all of this into a unified dashboard. One single question from a user should draw an answer from every connected system natively and simultaneously, without any tab switching or context loss.
To test if the product acts as a true central brain for your firm, ask the vendor this: does your platform natively connect to the core systems our business actually runs on?
The marketing answer here is a dead giveaway. You can upload your PDFs and documents manually. Manual data uploading creates static, outdated information silos. A genuine AIOS provides a radically different approach. Native integration pulls live data directly from your CRM, email, and workflows. It sits directly on top of the tools your practice already relies on and makes them instantly accessible to your AI agents.
Finally, we reach the 5th architectural requirement: action logs.
An action log must be a full, read-only audit trail capturing every single AI decision, every output, and the exact source data used to generate that output. In regulated environments like law, accounting, and financial advice, AI-generated outputs that lack logged attribution and human review checkpoints, those are simply compliance failures waiting to be found.
To ensure the system produces audit-ready files that will hold up to regulatory scrutiny, your final vendor question is, does the system maintain a full read-only action log of every AI decision?
If the vendor answers, you can view your past prompt history and the evaluation right there. A simple prompt history is completely useless to an auditor. A genuine AIOS builds structural accountability from day one, meaning every output is logged with a timestamp, user, source data, and reasoning. The system proves exactly how and why a specific conclusion was reached.
Governance, memory, agents, integrations, and action logs. If your AI stack does not have all 5 capabilities, it is not an AIOS. It is a liability. Sunburnt AI's Sunny platform meets all 5 of these strict criteria by design for Australian firms. But ask yourself, is the software you are evaluating right now truly ready to run your business, or are you just buying a very expensive chatbot? To read the full vendor-neutral breakdown of this framework, visit sunburntai.com.au/insights/Australian AI operating system. Don't compromise on your architecture.